Ay, my goodness. But how do I know that there is people here? I have no clue. I have no clue. Hello. Oh, hi, finally. My goodness. How is everyone? Okay, awesome. You're alive. Wonderful. Thank you. Finally, I am alive. um, all right, I'm just going to wait for maybe more people to connect. And I can start maybe with my story or something like that. Okay, well, what time is it? It's very late now. Well, hello everyone. So my name is Cindy. Welcome to today's live from Evolve. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience in South Africa. You can just type your questions if you have questions, anything that you want to know about South Africa. I will share it with you, or I will try according to my knowledge. Can you hear me okay? I cannot see if. Very good, thanks. Okay. Mm, Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Maybe you can just do some thumbs up and let me know with that. Yes? Okay, wonderful. Okay. Wonderful then. If you can hear me, then that's good. We can start. Remember, just type some questions. South Africa, what can I tell you? There are many things that I can say about South Africa. I went to South Africa, I think like 2 years ago, to teach Spanish. And I was living there for 2 months. So I got quite of a very interesting experience while living there. Um, okay, so I got a list of couple of things that I want to share with you. I also want to share kind of some pictures, but I cannot. I cannot do it anymore. But okay, so question: do you know how many languages do they speak in South Africa? Question time. We can hear you. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm seeing your comments, but like it's taking like 2 minutes probably to get here. Okay, so my question is, do you know how many languages do they speak in South Africa? Or what is the official language in South Africa? Do we know? We don't know? Okay, well, they have 11 official languages in South Africa. A lot of people there are at least bilinguals, okay? At least bilingual, I mean. So minimum they speak two languages, either English or any other. For example, Afrikaans is another of the languages that they speak there. They also speak Zulu and Xhosa, but I'm not pronouncing it correctly. They have 11 languages, okay? They have, I'm going to write it here, 11 official languages. Official languages. Official languages in South Africa. And imagine having 11 official languages. When you, like, for example, when I went to the supermarket, just as an example, the people, like the cashiers, will be talking in, I don't know, probably Xhosa or Zulu between themselves. But then they will basically ask you for anything in English, because English is kind of the political language or economical language, okay? Like the lingua franca. That's the way that we can call it. So yeah, 11 official languages. And Afrikaans is a language that it's kind of similar to Dutch, okay? Because long time ago, in South Africa, like the colonies were from Belgium. No, from where? Well, there were Dutch colonies and English colonies, and they went to South Africa, and basically they were fighting between each other in South Africa, and that's why they have English as part of one of the main languages, because they are also part of the Commonwealth. And yeah, Dutch or like Afrikaans. So for example, Dutch people and people that speak Afrikaans, they can kind of understand each other. How was the experience in South Africa? Karen Cordova is asking. Regarding what exactly? The experience, I loved it. I think it's been one of my most important experiences in my life, like my traveling life so far. You can ask any of my friends, and I always talk about South Africa. I loved it. I loved the experience. People are amazing. Um, it's quite of a very, very different experience to anything that you can do. But yeah. Okay. Question. Well, let me write it here. Because I don't know where I can write here. Okay. Anyway, do you know? Do you know? Do you know who is the singer that is called the White Zulu? You know who's the singer that is called the I want to know about the food. It was good, spicy. Oh yeah, it was spicy. Okay, Lorena is asking if the food was spicy. Yes, it was spicy. Not as spicy as Mexican food or Indian food, but it was a bit spicy. They eat a lot of meat, and they eat a lot of meat, and they use different, um, like I don't know, vegetables and things to basically give flavor to the food. So yeah, it's spicy. Why did I go to South Africa? I went because it was the farthest place that I could have gone at the time. So at the time, I basically had the opportunity either to go to South Africa, Jamaica, or I don't remember the other, and I decided to go to South Africa because of the culture, because it was far away, because it was different, because it was challenging, and I went basically to learn, no, to teach Spanish. So I was teaching Spanish there to diplomats. It was a very interesting professional experience as well. Okay. Spicy food. Why did I go? How long did I live in South Africa? I lived in South Africa for very short, 2 months. 2 months, and I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back. Yeah, sometimes it was difficult. It was difficult, but I was living in a very nice place. Um, to be honest, I as a woman, I couldn't go outside by myself. I couldn't go walking like you do here in Colombia before the quarantine. I couldn't go out after 6 p.m. because I was a woman and I was, let's say, by myself. But I got very good friends there, so we used to go out for dinner after 6, and we all take a cab. Like we always have to go out, but in a taxi because we couldn't go outside at night because it was a bit dangerous. Stephanie asked. Oh, Stephanie asked. Okay. And I will love Africa because I love meat too. Yeah, I think I got. I ate a lot of meat, and actually, there is something very interesting about meat. So, like for example, in the United States, we normally have barbecue, right? In the United States, we normally have barbecues. Then, ooh, or maybe we can have a cookout. But in South Africa, we don't have cookout or barbecues. We have braai. Braai, braai, braai. Braai is the word for barbecue in South Africa, and for them it is the most important thing that they can do, and they get together with family, with friends. Everybody brings in things to put in the fire. um, yeah, a lot of meat with a lot of good flavor, with a lot of spices. um, yeah, they normally do a braai for Heritage Day, which is kind of the Independence Day of South Africa. It can be similar, like the meaning or like the importance of the celebration is kind of Independence Day, like as we do, for example, in 20th of July, I think. Okay, let's see. Any other question? Haha, why? Why is a why what? Why I couldn't go out at 6 after 6? What else? Let me see my list. Okay. Oh, so I was asking a question about if you knew who is called the White Zulu. So let me see if I can find a picture here. No, I'm gonna send a picture. So the White Zulu is Johnny Clegg. Johnny Clegg. Johnny Clegg is a musician. Well, was a musician. He was a very important musician because, first of all, he was white, but he used to sing kind of music that was from different, like was tribal music, okay? Tribal music. So Johnny Clegg, very famous, but very famous because he used to sing tribal music, like Zulu music, and that's why he's called the White Zulu. It was also very relevant in his time, mostly because at that time there was apartheid. And the apartheid was like the division between black and white people, and South Africa was ruled by a minority that was white. Basically, Johnny Clegg was against all these political rules, and he started basically he grew up with the Zulu with Zulus, having Zulu friends, and then he understood the importance of the culture. He sang a lot of songs that are very important. I'm going to try to find. No, I have the link opened already. Actually, um, let me send you the link, a YouTube link. Okay, this is one of the most important songs of Johnny Clegg. No, it's not Clay as Clay like do. No, it's Clegg. You're going to see it just now. That video you can watch it maybe later. That video is actually very important because it's dedicated to Nelson Mandela. Okay, do you know who Nelson Mandela is? Please say yes. Please say yes. Johnny Clegg. So Johnny Clegg is called the White Zulu. He was a very important musician, and when I was in South Africa, I had the great opportunity of being in one of his concerts. It was the closing concert. He was retiring from his career on 2017. Um, and basically, I think he died last year. He died last year, 2018. He died. Johnny Clegg. Okay, so Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, you need to check him out. Okay, Nelson. Let me see if I choose. Well, Mandela, kind of a rebel. Okay, at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning he was a rebel. He didn't agree with the government, with the politics of his country, so he was a rebel. He had very good friends, and with them he started kind of a revolution. Okay, after some years he went to prison, and he was in prison in South Africa for many years. But his revolution was so powerful that when he was released from prison, he was president in South Africa. Okay, and he died probably 6 years ago. No, 2012. He died around 8 years ago. But he was basically the person that united South Africa. Okay, South Africa is a very diverse country. Okay, a very diverse country, 11 languages, many cultures, English, Dutch, Zulu, and many others. Okay, So he basically united everyone in one government. Everything was okay until he was the president. But when he died and some other people started having the power and managing the country, then things started like going backwards. And now the situation is not that great. Okay, let's see what else should I tell you. Okay, how many capitals does South Africa have? How many capitals does South Africa have? Uh, how many capitals does South Religion? What about religion? There are a lot of Protestant people. There are a lot of many other religions that I'm not sure. There are some that are Christians. Yeah, I'm not sure. How many capitals does South Africa have? How? Okay, Angeli is asking, how is life there? Um, it's complicated. It's complicated. South Africa is a bit like, no, well, no, I'm not gonna say that. South Africa at the moment is receiving a lot of migrants, for example, from Namibia that are like in the north part of South Africa. Um, a lot of people from Namibia, from Mozambique, and some other countries. Um, so they like the working. There are a lot of working problems. Okay. Um, if you are South African, you have a lot of opportunities, but you can also have a lot of problems if you're white. Because at the moment, like for example, the black people are trying to take revenge from what was happening long time ago. Okay, so the situation is quite complicated. However, it is amazing to find integrated spaces. So for us in Colombia, for example, we don't really integrated spaces. In Colombia, we are used to, the different colors of our skin. So we live with black people, with white people, with yellow people, mixed people, indigenous people. Okay, but in South Africa, this is very recent. Okay, before the white people didn't mix with the black people. Okay, black people shouldn't go some places. Um, the division was very strict. There was a door for white people and there was a door for black people. Okay, but now there are some places that are super integrated. Okay, spaces that you go and you find black people, white people, color people all mixed together, having fun. I don't know, celebrating Heritage Day, and that is amazing. Understanding the story, um, and then watching all these people mixed together is wonderful. It's wonderful to see that vibe and that peace, kind of. Okay, complicated. Didn't know that. What did you love the most about living there? Well, there are a lot of questions. Wait, I'm gonna. Okay, what did I love the most about living there? It's so hard to say. The people. You know, when you travel, sometimes the most different thing is people of different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds. But in South Africa, I felt like at home. People are very similar to Colombians. Like they are very welcoming. People like, for example, the people that I was working with, okay, like they were always like, Cindy, how are you feeling okay? Be careful with this, be careful with that. You should go and try this, you should go and try that. They will take me places just so I can go and visit. People were super nice and welcoming, and whenever I needed something, they will just like be there for me if I needed anything. So people was the thing I loved the most. Sharks, yes. Stephanie's asking if it's true. There are a lot of sharks, and yes, in Cape Town there are a lot of sharks, and you can go there, and you can basically you submerge yourself in a cage, and then you see the sharks swimming around you. I didn't do it, but I have some friends that have done that. Okay, what else? How's the weather? Okay, the weather. Is asking, is it true that the weather is super hot? No. In South Africa, yes, it can be hot, but they also have like the seasons. Okay, so they are in the south. Um, and went there November, December. No, when did I go there? September, October, November. Okay, October, November, December. That was the time that I was there, and it was spring. Uh, the weather was perfect. Imagine the weather of Medellin, kind of flowers all around. A very important tree in the place that I'm living at. They call it jacaranda. Jacarandas. The city that I was living at was which is a Dutch name, but now they call it Swane. Swane, which is a black name, South African. Um, because as I said before, they are kind of changing many things. So everything that is from the white communities, they are changing them into black. So, for example, they are changing the names of the cities, of the towns, of the streets. So the streets have double names, the cities have double names, and yeah, that those were the names of my city, the city that I was living at. What is the best time to travel to South Africa? I think spring is a very good time because let's see, what's the season now? Yeah, at the end of the year for us, it's good time for visiting South Africa. It's not that hot. There were some days that were raining. There were some days that I didn't really need a very big jacket. Maybe some sweaters or blazers, but that's it. What is the best time to travel to South Africa? Yes, spring is good. So at the end of the year for us, and after that is summer. So when, like, I think right now is summer in South Africa. We are in April. Yeah, I think we're still in summer. Okay, any other question? Let's see, what else should I? Oh, yes, I was asking about the three capitals. Did I ask that? There are three capitals in South Africa, and let me check the information here. Pretoria, the city that I was living at, is one of them. Pretoria. Then we also have, what is my list? Capitals. Okay. Pretoria is the administrative capital. Cape Town is the legislative capital, and Bloemfontein is the judicial capital. Okay, so they have all their powers divided into in the country. They have one. Um, Okay, let's see. Okay, there are three cool words that I want to teach you. So first, funny story. Funny story that happened to me in South Africa. Funny. Funny story. I don't know. um, uh, Judy, let me think what story I'm going to tell you. Okay, Hector. Yes, they speak 11. I mean, 11 languages are the official languages. Each person at least speak two or three languages minimum. They speak English. Almost all of them speak Afrikaans, and at least they know some words from Zulu or Xhosa or some other language. Okay, so the words. This word, know any African, and if you know any South African and you use this word, you lekker. Lekker is like wonderful, cool, fantastic. Always say this word, lekker. Okay. How's the food? Lekker. How's the quarantine? Lekker. How are you feeling? Lekker. Everything is lekker. Okay. Then braai is a very important word. Okay, as I said before, braai, they love doing braais. Once went to a cricket game. Okay, which is one of the most important sports in South Africa, and in the stadium of cricket they have like, it's like a yard, okay, and then everybody there and they do picnics while the game is happening, and they do braais there. So they bring the meat or wherever they are going to grill, and they go to the cricket game to braai. So it's really cool. um okay, what's the funny story that I'm going to tell? Oh yes, I know which one. Okay. So one day I went to Joburg or Johannesburg or Josie, it's the same city, and I went exploring. I was not supposed to go by myself, but I like to explore. So I went on the train. When I went, like when I got down the train, I went out to explore the city, and I was actually in a very weird part. I think I was following Google Maps, and I was following Google Maps, and I was going to a museum. When I was entering the museum, well, no, before entering the museum, I had to go through a park, and basically everyone was black in that part of the city. Like in the park everyone was black, and that was not a problem. I was fine, I was walking fine, I was going to the museum, but before entering there were some people and they were like, oh, they were like surprised to see me, and they were like, can we take a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. So they started taking pictures of me and with me. Okay, I also took a picture of me with me, wherever. And at the end, basically, they were just like all over me, and I was just like, okay, okay, I'm going, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. So I had to just leave running. And that was a funny story. I still remember basically every detail of it. I had to go running right to the museum because these people were just like not going to go away. Okay. Do you feel something about the apartheid? Juan Carlos is. Yeah, it is. It is very heavy. It is very heavy still because, as I said, there are some places that are very integrated. Okay, where I was working, it was very integrated. White people, black people, color people, um, very respectful. But then there are some other places or people that you find, and for example, white people will tell you it's very dangerous to live here in South Africa now because the black people want to get back to us for what happened in history. And the black people from South Africa, it's very complicated for them to, for example, to work, to find work, because of the regulations in South Africa. So now South African families rather hire people from other countries because it's more convenient for them than to hire South Africans. So it's quite a very complicated situation regarding the apartheid still. What was my first thought when I arrived to South Africa? Juan David is asking. I was exhausted when I got there. I was fagged. And I remember I was excited. I was excited. I was very excited about the new experience, about the new challenge. I was very afraid because, yeah, the statistics in terms of safety weren't that positive. So I was scared. But I was excited overall. And yeah, I was happy about the weather. I was living in a very nice house, so I was happy about that. My first, no, yeah, for me, the most shocking thing was that I couldn't go out by myself. They said that it was very dangerous, but I still went. So I took the risk. Catherine Rodriguez is asking, what is the typical food in South Africa? Meat. What else? Well, I don't remember. They have a lot of good desserts, like cakes. I know there is a cake that is kind of a mix between cake and pudding. Wine, they do amazing wine. If you like wine, go to South Africa. Okay. Um, Food, yeah, meat. I don't remember it anymore. What is a typical food? Good night. What can we? Good night, Frank. Okay. What can we do in South Africa? My goodness, there are many things to do in South Africa. Um, so first of all, South Africa is very big. So all the landscapes in the cities are different. Okay. There, you in South Africa, you can do game ride, which is to go like to the wild to see the big the animals. Okay, the lions, the tigers, giraffes, and many others. That's one thing that you should go and do in South Africa. Second, you need to go to Cape Town, and Cape Town is one of the most international cities in South Africa. I loved Cape Town. There is where you can go and see the sharks. Um, so in Cape Town, there is a mountain that is called Table Mountain, and is one of the main landmarks in South Africa. Okay, so if you go to Cape Town, you need to go to Table Mountain, and then to go to Table Mountain, you can either go by cable, like on a mm, teleférico kind of a cable, so you go up the mountain, and then you will have an amazing view of the cape. Okay, so you see the city, you see the sea. It's beautiful. um but you can also go hiking, like climbing up the mountain it is a very hard climb. Yep, I did that, and it was super cool. You have to go and do it. What else? Okay. There are many other cities, as I said. For example, Durban is, so South Africa is like, the end of the world in the south. Okay. So on one side, you will see the Atlantic Ocean, which is the one that you see in Cape Town. Is it the Atlantic? I think so. And in the other side, you see the what is Indian Ocean, in Oceano Indico. I don't know what I'm thinking that in Spanish, but yes, Oceano Indico. And basically, there is also a point in which you go and they both meet together. Um, there are amazing things to do in South Africa in general. African music. Oh, I love African music. So, who is asking about this? It's wonderful. So many good beats. Yeah, there are many. So, like they have a lot of tribes and communities, and they all have different styles of music, traditional music. Okay. But they also have a very good mix between old and modern music. So there are a couple of artists that I listen to, and I love them. They are just very cool. Yeah, I don't know any particular music that I can remember now. Let's see. No. Okay, let's see. Let me answer the last questions. What was the best experience that you lived there? So I was very Hank Anderson is asking, well, what was the best experience that I lived there? Something that I will never forget. So going up, hiking Table Mountain, I will never forget it. Never. It was actually a very dramatic experience because it was very tiring. Okay. So, South Africa, I mean, Table Mountain, hiking Table Mountain. The second one, what is the second one? Let's see, let me think. South Africa, experience that I will never forget. The experience, like the fun experience that I told you about the people that wanted to take a picture with me. That's a very funny story that I will never forget. Like the feeling that I had that day, it was so weird. I was very afraid. That one. When I was going to Cape Town, um, I think that has been one of the most terrifying flights because I took a flight from Pretoria to Cape Town, and then there was a storm in Cape Town, and the plane was almost going to fall, and we did like four, like we were just going around and around from Cape Town to the island, from the island to Cape Town like five times, four times, and I was terrified. um Another very good experience was when I almost touched a zebra. Like I was like 1 meter away from a zebra, and it was really impactful. I was okay. What does South Africa economy depend on? South Africa, they do a lot of. They have a lot of industries there. Like they what do they do? Let me remember. They export a lot of wine, and that's one of the most important ones. Um, Pretoria. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember. Sorry. I will look for it and I will try to remember because I don't remember. They used to live like they are one of the biggest countries. Sorry, Steven. They are the South Africa is one of the countries that have a lot of diamonds mines. Okay, so they do work a lot with diamonds, and so diamonds, wine. They used to work a lot from agriculture. There are some regions that are very rich in agriculture. Um, what else? Yeah, no, don't remember anymore. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this time talking about South Africa. If you have any other questions, ask me personally. I hope to see you soon. Stay safe. Good night. Ciao.